All right. So Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty good. Okay. So how about you tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, your name, age, grade, major, stuff like that.
All right, I'm Mike Wall. I'm a double E major. I'm a first year. I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay. So what was the very first book you read by Tolkien?
It was The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Okay. So about what age were you?
I think I was 8 or 9 when I read The Hobbit.
Okay. So did you like pick it up from the library or did?
Yeah, my mom got it from the library for me.
Okay. That's pretty good. Tell us, what did you enjoy about it?
It just like captivated my imagination. I was into like all the Harry Potter books and stuff. So I was into like the fantasy genre. So I don't know. My mom recommended it and I just read it and loved it. It just like captured my imagination.
That's cool. That's cool. What did you enjoy most about it?
I don't know, just like the storyline. It was exciting. Like,
Okay. I think it was actually the same question. My bad. What was your favorite character?
favorite character from The Hobbit?
Yeah, The Hobbit.
What was the fat guy's name? The fat dwarf. Bomber, I think it was. I think he was my favorite. Whatever the fat dwarf was, I think it was Bomber. I don't know, it was just funny and it was filled with like comic relief.
Do you feel like you somewhat related to him in any way, or?
Not really.
I mean, you're not really fat, so
He was just a funny character, like, I don't know. I usually tend to like the funnier characters in like books and movies and stuff.
Now, did you end up watching The Hobbit when it came out at the end?
I did, yeah. I was kind of disappointed because, I don't know, they're making it into 3 movies and they're just like stretching it out and milking it for the money. But I mean, as a whole, I think they did a good job of like portraying the book in the movie, but I don't know. I think they just like stretched the plot out way too long.
Okay. Alright. Did you read any of these other books?
I read The Fellowship, but didn't read The Twin Towers or Return of the King.
Alright, so with The Fellowship, how did you see the relationship between the movie and the book there?
The book was definitely a lot more in-depth. Like, the movie was pretty fast-paced, but the book was slower. It had a lot more substance to it, and the movie just skipped a lot of the stuff that was in The Fellowship.
Okay. Alright, now, do you know, tell us what you know about Tolkien, like him as a writer.
Tolkien, I know he grew up in like the early 1900s, and I think he served in World War I.
Yeah, he did serve in World War I.
So that's where he got a lot of his, like, I don't know, imagery and stuff, I guess, from like his experience in World War I. Okay. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty much all I know of him. I think he lived in England. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, he was actually born in South Africa.
Okay.
And he came up to England to live. Did you know he was a teacher that taught language and literature?
I did not, no.
Yeah, he taught English and literature, and he studied like Sir Gawain and the Green Knight and Beowulf, which from those excerpts he was expanded his universe and made his own throughout the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Okay.
Let's see. Why would you recommend, say, The Hobbit to other people to read, like, say, now in college?
I just think it's a good book. It's a good storyline. I like the way that Tolkien tells his story, like the way he portrays it, and I don't know. It's just a well-rounded book. Like, he goes into so much depth. He like makes his own language for like elves and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just an exciting story, and it's very well written, in my opinion.
Now, did you ever try to learn any of his language?
No. I'm not that into it.
Not that into it. Did it dress up for any of the events? Or?
No.
Did you ever think about dressing up?
Nope. Not me, no.
Okay. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions for him? Come on forward. Anything else you want to share, maybe, about your experiences with Hobbit or Tolkien?
I I really like the video games.
Those, the video games?
Yeah, when I was younger, I liked playing the Lord of the Rings video games. Those are pretty fun. I don't know.
Do you think those maybe went more in depth, like say into the books than the movies? Were they like more off just to like they kind of
they pretty much
story
copied stuff from the movies. Really didn't have any stuff that was in the books, but not in the movies. It was just pretty much a video game about stuff that was in the movie. But yeah, they were fun games, I guess.
Well, I think that's it on questions here. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ryan.
No problem.
Alright, so go like start telling like your name, your grade, your major, where you're from, all that.
I'm Charlie. I'm from Atlanta. I'm a computer science major, and I'm a freshman.
Okay, so have you ever read any books by Tolkien?
Yes, I've read The Hobbit and the entire Lord of the Rings series twice. So.
What was the first one you read?
First one I read was The Hobbit.
The Hobbit? Alright, how old were you when you read it?
10 or 11.
10 or 11? So how'd you get into it? Like, did you get it from the library? Someone give it to you as a gift?
I did. I checked it out from the library originally, and then I had to bring it back before I finished it. But then my mom got it for me as a gift.
Okay. So tell us about also how old were you when you read like the Lord of the Rings series?
I think I was about 13 when I started this.
All right. So what did you enjoy most about, let's say, The Hobbit?
I just really enjoyed the storyline of The Hobbit. I thought it was really interesting following the characters through their journey there and back again.
Okay. All right. So, did you end up watching the Hobbit movie?
I did.
Now, between the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings books, and then the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings movies, what did you enjoy? Which one did you enjoy more between the two?
I thought the Lord of the Rings movies were better than the Hobbit movie. The Hobbit movie was still good because it was very true to the spirit of the book. It just wasn't as entertaining as the Lord of the Rings movies, though.
Okay. Now, how do they compare to the books themselves?
Pretty good. They were very consistently entertaining throughout. They did a good job of covering the material. There were some parts that were left out, obviously, because the books are pretty long. There's actually a pretty big sequence in the Return of the King that's not in the movie, but it's pretty plot irrelevant. So they were good.
Who was your favorite character out of the series?
I like Gandalf.
Gandalf?
Yeah. They just do everything. It's awesome.
Do you feel you relate to him in any way?
Not really. It's just like, I don't know, he's way smarter than I am.
Okay. So tell us what you know about Tolkien as a writer.
I know his his major works were the Middle Earth universe books. I know he started with, I think the first thing he started writing was the Silmarillion, which is kind of the background story for everything, and then he went and wrote Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, published all that in order by volume, and he never finished the Silmarillion before he died. His son went back and compiled what he could and published a version, but he had this weird theory where he would never, he had to write everything in one draft through with the Silmarillion, so every time he messed up or wanted to go back and change something, he would rewrite the entire thing from the beginning. He wouldn't just make an edit, so it took him decades to finish this thing, and he ultimately never did.
Why do you think he was like that? Took him so long to rewrite it, or do you think that was a benefit to his writings?
It was just his style. I think writing it all in order like that probably helped create a sense of continuity. I'm not sure if he used the same style with the Lord of the Rings books, but assuming he did, it definitely helps keep a flow of things, I think. But when you're writing something that long, it's probably easier to go back and edit so you can finish it before you die.
You said you did read the books twice. Did you ever dress up as any of the characters?
No.
No, you never dressed up as any of the characters?
No.
Did you go to any conventions of his, maybe?
No. Just a big reader.
Okay.
What would you recommend to people, say, starting the series, or would you recommend it to people like now in college to read with all the stuff we have to do?
I definitely would. I mean, it takes a while to get through them. They're pretty long, but you'll definitely enjoy them. They're hard to get through sometimes, but they're definitely worth the read.
Anything else you want to share to us about the series that you enjoyed, or?
I think that covers it.
That covers it. Okay, well, that's it.